Barbara Gross.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. I've done my own personal research on this topic, and hopefully by the end of my speech, it will enhance your own communication skills. Now, as you hear me speaking, you might detect a very faint Boston accent. Okay, it's a little stronger than that. Now, an accent, the Boston accent, anyway, is the closer you live to Boston, the stronger the accent. I was born in a city 5 minutes north of Boston called Chelsea, Massachusetts. Now, where you'll really hear the accent is any word that has the letter A before the letter R, because I'll say it like A-H. Example, car, park, Harvard, yeah. Now, I go to college 2 hours west at the University of Massachusetts. They do not have an accent. Example, I decided to get my degree in education, so I was student teaching these 3rd and 4th graders. The spelling word was car. The little kids go, "What's that?" I knew very well they knew what it was, so I said, "Listen, I know you know this word, and if you don't get it right, it's not my problem." So now, my parents had since retired to a warmer climate in Southern California. So once I graduated, they said, "Hey, Barbara, come and stay with us for a while. We live in a great place, La Jolla." I'm like, "Okay, I'm into La Jolla." Come to find out, La Jolla. Who knew? I go to a Mexican restaurant. I look at the menu. I said, "What are these things?" "Japerinos." They said, "Jalapenos." Once again, who knew? Now, all I wanted to do was order a pizza. They said, "What's your name?" I said, "Barbara." They said, "What?" I said, "Barbara." They said, "Bob?" I said, "Forget it, Cindy, I'll be there." I needed to bond with him. Now, another time this guy asked me, "Do you play tennis?" I said, "Well, I'm not that good, but I have great effort." And his face did this contortion. So I'm used to this. I said, "I know what I said." "What do you think I said to you?" And he thought I said, "Well, I'm not that good, but boy, do I have a great outfit." I mean, that would be the last thing I would say. Anyway, another thing that I learned, somebody told me, and it proved out to be true, that you learn your vocabulary by the age of 9. Example, my best friend's father's name is spelled C-A-R-L. When I think of her father, I say Carl. Now, when I moved to California, there's a hamburger place called Carl's Jr. I never knew that place because they didn't exist on the East Coast. So to this day, if I think of her father, I say Carl. If I think of that hamburger place, I say Carl. So it's not that I can't say it. Now, getting to nonverbal communication, I think we might all be able to agree that this means yes, this means no, this means I don't know, and here's a couple more. So I was on a business trip to Australia. Happened to be sitting next to a woman that didn't speak a word of English. Anybody that knows me knows I don't eat dessert. So when the food came, I offered the woman my brownie. She smiled, I smiled. I think I just got a new best friend and we didn't even have to say anything. Now during the middle of the trip, I need to use the restroom. I get up, I go to the restroom, I come back, and she's in my window seat. I purposely book a window seat so I can sleep and no one can bother me. Well, she couldn't speak any English, so I say to my new best friend, and she got up and sat in her chair. Now, this other story is our headquarters, where I work right now, is based in Moscow. And for the interview, I just had a few Skype calls. I didn't even know this woman that well. And she wanted to give me the royal treatment and make me feel comfortable, so she brought me to this restaurant, very authentic Russian restaurant. We're having a great time. I'm trying all these things, and then I needed to go to the restroom. So I get up, and I'm walking to where I think the restroom might be, but the waiter was right there. So I said, "Restroom?" And he didn't know what to say to me, so I thought, well, I'll find the restroom. I can do that. I might not be able to speak Russian, but I think I can figure this out. And sure enough, I do find the restroom. But I come back to the table, and I see my new manager writing the check with her credit card. And I'm thinking to myself, what went on? I thought we were having a good time. I thought we might have coffee or maybe drinks after. I don't know what to say, but again, I didn't know that well. So she could see this perplexing look on my face. So she finally said to me, well, you wanted to go, didn't you? And I said, no, what made you think that? She said, well, the waiter came over to me and said, she wants the check. So my nonverbal communication when I said, restroom, made him go to her and say, she wants to go, here's the check. Well, thank goodness I had that funny look on my face so we could all laugh about it. And to this day, I told her I was going to mention her in the speech today. So, in closing, as I said in the intro, I hope you can use this research to enhance your own communication skills. But what I neglected to tell you, it's only if you happen to run across a Bostonian or somebody that can't speak English. Mr. Toastmaster.